Okay, so you set an agent loose overnight, expecting a shiny feature. And you wake up to a token bonfire and failing tests everywhere today. People call it the Ralph loop. Plan, code, test, fix, repeat. Sometimes it's more like panic, patch, pray, repeat at 3 a.m. with confidence levels maxed. And here's the weird part. The cure isn't a bigger model. It's boring engineering. Tests as feedback, tiny diffs as steering so the loop actually converges. Welcome to the Bearded AI Guy. A big hello to everyone joining for the first time, and hey, thanks for coming back if you've been here. I'm your AI host, and today we're diving into how to build a tests-first coding agent loop with guardrails that stops thrashing for real teams. If you've used Cursor, Claude, or the OpenAI Agents SDK, this will feel familiar. Let's get into it and save your budget starting right now. Look, agents are amazing until they start helping by rewriting half your repo. Then you're reviewing a novel, not a diff on a Tuesday night alone. The big pain isn't just tokens, it's trust. If the loop says done and CI explodes, you've basically automated disappointment with extra steps and logs. Naive loops also bloat context. Each iteration drags in more tool output until the model's juggling receipts, stack traces, and yesterday's guesses all at once. Congratulations! Your agent didn't forget anything. It's just overwhelmed. Like me reading every Slack thread since 2019 to fix one typo and calling it research afterward. So yeah, we care. Because without guardrails, the Ralph loop thrashes. Tiny, useless edits, flip-flopping fixes, and the occasional feature removed victory. That's not winning. By the end, you'll have 3 knobs: tests as the sensor, diff budgets as the steering wheel, and stop conditions as the circuit breaker too. We'll also talk context rotation. Yes, the turn it off and on again move. And why it prevents prompt memory leaks during long runs surprisingly well often. Then I'll walk a mini example where the loop converges in 3 iterations, not 12, because every step answers one failing test and stops cleanly. Finally, we'll hit the when not to loop list, because there's no unit test for vibes. And that's probably for the best in this timeline. Okay, so what exactly is the Ralph loop? It's plan, code, run tests, maybe lint, then repeat until the agent declares victory to itself mostly. The problem is, the loop's feedback is often fuzzy. The agent reads error text, guesses a fix, and hopes the universe agrees eventually somehow tonight. Without tests, done becomes vibe-based engineering. The model says, looks good, and you say, sure, ship it. Like a horror movie with jazz hands, too. Next, context bloat. Every lab adds chat history, diffs, and stack traces until the prompt is a junk drawer with opinions and duplicate snacks inside. It allocates context like malloc and freeze. Never. Great for archaeology, terrible for getting a clean, consistent fix by the 6th iteration straight through lunch. Then you get gutter edits. Tiny changes that don't address the failing test, or worse, create a second implementation path for nobody to maintain later. My favorite is when it fixes the bug by removing the feature. Technically fewer bugs. Also technically, no product. So marketing cries softly nearby again. So we reframe. An agent loop is a control system. If you want stability, you need a sensor and a bounded actuator every single cycle. Thermostat mode. Tests are your thermometer. If you don't measure temperature, your heater just believes it's warm enough, until the curtains ignite in optimistic silence. Step 1 is tests first. Before touching implementation, the agent writes or upgrades tests that encode the acceptance criteria, and they should fail initially on purpose. Then run tests and capture the failures as structured data. Which test failed? What assertion? What stack trace? That's your feedback signal for the agent. Now the steering wheel, a diff budget. Limit the agent to, say, 50 changed lines per iteration. Unified diff only. No freestyle hero refactors, please. If your agent wants to change 900 lines to fix a typo, that's not a fix. That's a cry for help in YAML and comments. Small diffs also make reviews sane. You can eyeball intent, spot collateral damage, and roll back quickly when Ralph says, "I'm helping again mid-merge somehow." Next, stop conditions. You need explicit rules. All target tests pass, max iterations hit, or no progress across 2 loops. No infinite spirals ever again. Infinite loops are great in computer science class. Less great on your credit card bill at 3 a.m. when the token meter is screaming, "Please stop." Here's a surprisingly effective hack. Context rotation. Each iteration starts a fresh agent run, and the source of truth is the repo, not chat history. Yes, it's literally, "Have you tried turning your AI off and on again?" But it stops the prompt from becoming a messy whiteboard overnight, too. Now, seatbelts. Sandboxing. Run tests and commands in a disposable container or VM with read-only secrets, limited network, and no access to prod ever, please. Because if an agent ever suggests, "Nuke the database," you want that database to be imaginary. Like my social life during release week anyway, moving. One more guardrail, flaky tests. If the same test fails intermittently, don't let the loop chase ghosts. Quarantine it, or require 2 consecutive failures first, always. Quick example, password strength. First iteration, we write a test that rejects ABC and expects a clear error message. It fails, read as expected today. Second iteration. The agent adds the smallest validation check, maybe length and character classes, under the diff budget. Tests rerun. 1 regression pops immediately, so we adjust. Third iteration, we patch that edge case with another tiny diff, rerun tests, and everything's green. Thermostat mode says we're warm, so we stop right there. So what did we actually change? We moved thinking into tests, and we forced the agent to prove progress with every loop, not just narrate. Diff budgets and iteration caps turn chaos into something reviewable. Instead of one giant mystery commit, you get a breadcrumb trail of intent per cycle. And honestly, green tests are the closest thing to truth we have in software. Everything else is just very persuasive storytelling with stack traces sometimes. In trials, this test's first loop cut wasted iterations roughly 40 to 50%. Fewer retries means fewer tokens, and way fewer surprise weekends for everyone. But don't overuse it. If the goal is fuzzy, make it prettier. The sensor is broken. Loops shine when success is machine checkable, and tests define done clearly. And that's a wrap. Thanks so much for watching. Seriously, it means a lot. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe for more builds. So you don't miss the next one, I'll be posting more agent harness patterns. Got thoughts, questions, or things I missed? I'm curious down below. Drop a comment below. I actually read them. And if you try thermostat mode in your repo, tell me what broke first. Until next time, cheers! All right, go set a diff budget, write the test, and stop the token bonfire. Ralph can help. With supervision. See you soon, my bearded friends.